How's it going, my peeps? It is now time for the TLC 2013 results / highlights and review video. I'll go over the results, some of the highlights in my opinion, and give you guys my thoughts, my review on the show. So, of course, it kicks off with the kickoff, and the superstar panel this time was Mick Foley, Booker T, The Miz, and Josh Matthews. And throughout the kickoff, The Miz would take shots at Kofi Kingston, and anyways, they talk about the matchup they want to see, they're looking forward to seeing. And they'll talk about the TLC match. And then moving on to the actual kickoff matchup, Fandango versus Dolph Ziggler. This one actually surprised me, where Fandango actually won the matchup after a distraction from... Well, actually, before that, you had Fandango on the top turnbuckle and Dolph Ziggler too. I guess he was trying to go for a superplex, but Summer Rae got in the apron, and that distracted Dolph Ziggler, so Fandango pushes Ziggler off the top turnbuckle, hits the leg drop, covers him, and beats Dolph Ziggler. It was a pretty quick matchup too, about, I don't know, 6 minutes or so. And after that, Kofi Kingston, approached The Miz, and he was angry at The Miz taking shots at him throughout the whole show, or the whole kickoff. So he actually slaps The Miz, and then they get separated by, Booker T and Mick Foley. And also, you had the Shield cut a promo on CM Punk and their matchup, saying that after tonight, CM Punk will believe in the Shield. That was pretty much it for the kickoff. And then, as far as the show kicks off with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon coming out to also hype up the TLC match, going over the former World Champions, WWE Champions, the history of the championships, and asking the fans who they think is going to win. Is it going to be Randy? The fans boo. Is it going to be John Cena? It was kind of a mixed reaction. And then the first match was CM Punk versus the Shield, actually, in the Handicap Match Up. And it was a pretty good matchup. CM Punk actually ended up winning the match, when, as predicted by a lot of people, Roman Reigns accidentally speared Dean Ambrose. See, before he actually speared Dean Ambrose, he was going for a spear on CM Punk on the outside, towards the beginning of the matchup. Going for a spear on the outside to CM Punk, who was leaning on the announcer's table, but then CM Punk got out of the way, so Roman Reigns kind of flew over the announcer's table and hit JBL's chair. And from then on, he was selling his eye, he was, touching his eye, it was hurting him, and they had some medics check on him, and he was kind of out for the rest of the matchup. And Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose would take over the rest of the match. And you had, in the end, CM Punk hit a go-to-sleep, or he was trying to hit a go-to-sleep on Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose got out of the way, so CM Punk hit the go-to-sleep on Seth Rollins instead. And then he attempted to go-to-sleep once again on Dean Ambrose, but Dean Ambrose, once again, got off of CM Punk's shoulders. And then he got behind CM Punk, and Roman Reigns went for a spear on CM Punk. CM Punk got out of the way, Reigns spears Dean Ambrose, and then CM Punk grabs Roman Reigns, quickly throws him out of the ring, covers Dean Ambrose, gets the 1-2-3, and wins the Handicap Match Up. And then right away runs out of the ring, towards the stage, or towards the ramp, or the top of the ramp, which is pretty much a stage, and celebrates. And that's it. CM Punk beats the Shield. Following that, you've got an interview with AJ backstage, Renee interviewing AJ. She asks her about the matchup tonight. AJ says that Natalya's a joke, that the Total Divas show is a joke, but the funny thing is, at the end of the night, she's going to be the only one laughing. So then they had a Divas Championship match, and you know what? I actually enjoyed the matchup. You had some nice counters, AJ countering the sharpshooter, Natalya countering the Black Widow, and then AJ countering the sharpshooter once again, but this time into a roll-up by grabbing Natalya's hair, and that roll-up got AJ the victory. So, after that, you had Damien Sandow versus E Langston for the Intercontinental Championship. And Damien Sandow, as always, or most of the time, cut a promo before the matchup. Now, as far as the match goes, it started off really quick with E Langston going for the big ending right away, but Damien Sandow got off his shoulders, and then Damien Sandow went for his finisher, the You're Welcome, which is the full Nelson Slam, but E Langston also got out of that. And towards the end of the match, E Langston hits his signature clothesline, and then he follows that up with the big ending. He connects with it this time, covers him, wins the match, and retains the Intercontinental Championship. Following that, backstage you see Randy getting ready for the matchup, tying up his boots, and then Vince McMahon comes up to him and shakes his hand. You don't hear anything, there's no sound. And afterwards, the Superstar panel announces that after the actions of Kofi Kingston and The Miz, they're going to have Kofi Kingston versus The Miz in a one-on-one matchup, and it's going to be a no disqualification. And then afterwards, you had an awesome Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship matchup, especially towards the end of the match. That's where it really picked up, and it started getting really action-packed. Basically, it's a matchup between Cody and Goldust versus Rey Mysterio and The Big Show, the Real Americans, and Ryback and Axel. And something interesting in this matchup is, I thought it was just, you pin one of the teams and that's it, the match is over. But it's actually elimination. So, the first team eliminated was actually Ryback and Curtis Axel. When Ryback went for a move on Goldust, I believe he was trying to go for a powerbomb, something along those lines. But Goldust got out of it, rolled up Ryback, got the 1-2-3, so Ryback and Curtis Axel were eliminated first. And then following that, you had the elimination of the Real Americans, but before they got eliminated, Antonio Cesaro did hit the big swing on Goldust, and then towards the end, or towards their elimination, you had Big Show going for the choke slam on Antonio Cesaro. Jack Swagger tried to interfere, tried to, stop the choke slam, so he gets in the ring, but Big Show lets go of Antonio Cesaro, knocks out Jack Swagger with the KO punch, and then Antonio Cesaro climbs up the top turnbuckle, tries to do a top rope move on the Big Show, but Big Show catches him with the WMD as well, covers him, and thus eliminates the Real Americans. And then, after that, that's when things got really exciting between the team of Rey Mysterio and the Big Show and Cody and Goldust. Especially the end, where you had a bunch of counters, Rey Mysterio going for the 619, that getting countered, Crossroads getting countered. Yeah, Big Show throw Goldust on the barricade, and then Cody tried to jump from the apron onto the Big Show, but Big Show caught him, and Big Show tried to, shove Cody Rhodes shoulder first onto the steel post, but Cody got off of Big Show's shoulder and pushed Big Show onto the ring post. From then on, Big Show was kind of out, and he didn't interfere in the matchup after that. And it was down to just Cody and Cody and Rey Mysterio, and Cody goes for the Crossroads. Rey Mysterio countered. You had Rey Mysterio going for the 619, and Cody Rhodes grabbing him by the legs, going for the Crossroads. Rey Mysterio counters. I don't know how many counters, but in the end, Cody gets the Crossroads locked in, and he hits it, goes for the cover, wins the match. This was seriously an awesome tag team match, and at the end there, I didn't know who was going to win. I thought maybe even Rey Mysterio and the Big Show were going to win, and my prediction was Cody and Goldust, which, they did win, but you didn't know who was going to win the way the match was going on. Actually, at some point, I thought maybe Cody was going to turn heel, or Cody and Goldust were going to break up, or something like that. But, no, everything went well, and we have a nice tag team matchup. After the match, Big Show gets back in the ring, and, he shakes Cody's hand, and he also shakes Goldust's hand. And they shake Rey Mysterio's hand. Rey Mysterio looks like he keeps falling down, and they keep getting him back up. And that's it for that. And afterwards, backstage, you have like a backstage segment where they promote the Brawlin' Buddies, where they all fight with them. You had like the primetime players, each one having one. I think Darren Young had the John Cena one, or I'm not sure. They had some brawling buddies, and the Greek Khali came in, and they all played with them. And then, Brad Maddox and Vicky Guerrero come in and tell them to act like adults. And then they take him from them, and then they start playing. And then Kane comes in, and they just all leave. And then Kane grabs the John Cena one and the Brodus Clay one, and he hits the John Cena one with the Brodus Clay Brawlin' Buddy. Afterwards, you had Brodus Clay versus R-Truth. And Brodus in this matchup would punish R-Truth, would beat him up, but he wouldn't go for the cover. And Tensai would tell him, come on, go for the cover, and they'd argue about that. So, towards the end, you had like Brodus Clay hang R-Truth upside down on the turnbuckle, and Tensai gets on the apron and tells him, what are you doing? Cover him. And Brodus starts yelling at him, telling him, I'm better than you, I'm the main event player. And then Tensai says, oh, you're better than me? Alright. So he gets off the apron, he leaves, and then Tensai tells the Funkadactyls, you guys better stay here. But they also leave. So then he's distracted by all this, and once he turns around, R-Truth hits him with a calf kick, and then he rolls him up, gets the 3 count, so R-Truth beats Brodus Clay. Also, something I forgot to mention backstage, I believe after the tag team match, yeah, Vince McMahon also approached John Cena and shake his hand as well. But this time, you could actually hear sound, and he was telling John Cena, good luck, and may the best man win out there. And after that, you had Kofi Kingston versus The Miz in a no disqualification match, and although it was no disqualification, there were no weapons used, unless I forgot something, but they didn't use chairs or anything, but they did fight on the outside a lot, and it even had Kofi Kingston going for Trouble in Paradise close to the ring post, and The Miz got out of the way, so Kofi hits his leg on the ring post, and yeah, The Miz putting Kofi Kingston on top of the barricade, and then kicking him in the head, and towards the end, The Miz took off the turnbuckle padding on one of the turnbuckles, and whenever that happens, I'm like, alright, what's probably going to happen is the person who, took off that turnbuckle padding is probably going to hit his head on that, and that happened. So Kofi Kingston The Miz went for the skull-crushing finale on Kofi Kingston onto the exposed turnbuckle, but Kofi Kingston got out of it, and then I believe he pushed or drop-kicked The Miz onto the exposed turnbuckle. Once The Miz turns around, Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise, covers him, and wins the match. And the crowd was actually chanting boring during the match. Following that, you had the Handicap Match Up, which is Daniel Bryan versus Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, and Bray Wyatt of the Wyatt family. And you know what? This matchup surpassed my expectations. I was expecting the Shield match, the Shield Handicap match of CM Punk versus the Shield, to be the better of the 2 handicap matches, but I thought this one was actually better than the first one, the one with CM Punk and the Shield. This was a really great handicap matchup, and I guess a big part of it would be Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. It was really exciting towards the end. I mean, all the matches, like the tag team matches, get really exciting towards the end. But this one, there was a lot of chaos also in the end. You also had, I'm not sure if it was Eric Rowan, I think it was Eric Rowan charging Daniel Bryan on the outside, and Daniel Bryan got out of the way, so he also went over the announcer's table. You had Bray Wyatt Irish whipping Daniel Bryan in the ring, and Daniel Bryan ducking Bray Wyatt and then hitting a suicide dive to the outside on, I believe it was Eric Rowan, might have been Luke Harper, I'm not sure, I don't remember, but I do remember the spot though. And also, Bray Wyatt did that reverse, crab thing, or whatever it is, whatever it's called, the same one he did when he faced off against Kofi Kingston, and after he did that, the crowd was chanting, that was creepy, that was creepy for a while. Actually, I'm not sure if they were chanting, that was creepy, or that was freaky. I don't know, both really mean almost the same thing. Also, towards the end, you had Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan looked really strong in the matchup, by the way, but also he did get dominated by the Wyatts. So both the Wyatt family and Daniel Bryan looked strong. At some point, you had Eric Rowan tied up in the ropes, so Daniel Bryan did his kicks there instead. You had Daniel Bryan in the end locking on the S-Lock. Or actually, he didn't lock it on, I mean. He was going to, but Bray Wyatt managed to get out of it. Oh yeah, before that, I forgot to mention. Before that spot, you had Bray Wyatt offering his hand to Daniel Bryan, telling him to grab my hand, this is the last time I'm gonna ask you to join us. And Daniel Bryan just looked at him angry, and instead he kicked Bray Wyatt's hand. And then Daniel Bryan tries to lock on the S-Lock, but Bray Wyatt gets out of it, and then he hits Daniel Bryan in the face with 10 forearms to the face. And following that, I think he just grabbed Daniel Bryan up, and he set him up in the reverse STO position for the Sister Abigail. He hit Sister Abigail, covers Daniel Bryan, and wins the match. Seriously, guys, this handicap matchup was good. In my opinion, I liked it better than the Shield handicap match. After the match, he kind of grabs Daniel Bryan's head and kind of hugs it or whatever. And that was it for the 3-on-1 handicap match. And after that, it was time for the main event, guys. The TLC match. The tables, ladders, and chairs match between Randy and John Cena for both the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship. And earlier on in the night, I'm not sure if I pointed this out, but when Stephanie McMahon and Triple H opened up the show, and hyped up the matchup, they announced that tonight there would be a WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So that's pretty much what the new champion's going to be called, what the winner's going to be called, whoever grabs both championships. So, I'm going to tell you who won the matchup. You might know already, but anyways, it was a great matchup too. And Randy alone got put through 3 tables in the matchup. First table he got put through, he was on the apron, and there was a table on the outside of the ring. And John Cena was in the ring with a ladder, so he grabs the ladder and he charges Randy with the ladder, hits him with it, and Randy falls off the apron through the table. And then the second ladder spot, I believe, was, because I know there were 2 other ladder spots. I mean, not ladder, freaking table spot. I just don't remember the order. I think the second one was the announcer's table one, where Randy was going for the punt kick. And he had already taken off everything off the announcer's table, so the monitors, you know, the topper and whatever. And John Cena got up before Randy could hit the punt kick, and then he grabbed Randy, put him up top on his shoulders for the attitude adjustment, and put him through the table with the AA. And also, at some point, you had John Cena hitting the 5-knuckle shuffle from the top of the ladder onto Randy. And you also had another table spot where John Cena speared Randy through a table that was set up in the corner. And then for the end of the match, you had Randy had taken down Cena inside the ring. So he goes on the outside and he starts taking off the protection on the outside. So like the mat on the outside of the ring. And then I'm thinking, oh, is Randy maybe going to bring John Cena to the outside? You know, just slam him onto the concrete or something like that. But no, actually, once he takes the mat off, he grabs something, and it's a handcuff. Yeah, some handcuffs, so he grabs that, and he also has the key. And you guessed it, he handcuffs John Cena to the bottom rope. And then, instead of going in the ring, he goes towards the ramp, or towards the stage, where he grabs the tallest ladder, because so far in the matchup, they just use, like, some short ladders. I was also surprised, like, what? Are they going to just use these short ladders? But no, he goes ahead and grabs, like, the tallest ladder there is. He heads towards the ring, and ringside, you got John Cena now going on the outside and trying to break free, or break the handcuffs. He tries to break them with some steel steps, and not some steel steps, I mean a steel chair, and also a ladder. And Randy goes back in the ring with the tallest ladder. He sets it up, and he starts climbing. And John Cena then, we see John Cena, he's actually taking off, or trying to take off the bottom ropes completely from the turnbuckle. And he succeeds, he takes it off. So then he runs and climbs up the ladder, and in his hands, of course, keep in mind, he's still handcuffed to the ropes. He's just basically dragging the ropes with him while climbing up the ladder. And also, a part of those ropes is, you know, the turnbuckle pad. So he's up on the ladder right now, facing Orton, and he starts hitting Orton, punching Orton with the turnbuckle pad. He punches him, I believe, twice, and Randy's still, you know, on the ladder, but he's kind of dizzy. He's about to fall down, so he hits him a 3rd time. And at this point, I'm like, oh, shit, looks like John Cena's going to win. Because Randy's out. You know, he just took out Randy. Randy fell. And he's, you know, up top on the ladder. But then, he can't reach. He can't use his handcuffed arm. He can't reach to grab the championship. He only has one arm to use. He can't drag the ropes any further than he's dragged it already. So he's kind of stuck there, doesn't know what to do. So Randy, he gets up and he grabs the ropes, like the other end of the ropes, and starts dragging John Cena, trying to get John Cena off the ladder. But John Cena's fighting back, he's staying on the ladder, while Randy's still trying to pull back. And then, keep in mind, there's still a table in one of the corners of the ring. So somebody has to get put through that table, right? And I thought somebody was going to get put through a table. So Randy, this time, decides to pull towards the table. And he does so, and he succeeds. John Cena falls off the ladder, and I'm like, oh, he's going to land through the table, but no, he just lands on the mat and kind of taps his head or hits his head on the table. The table doesn't break. So I was like, damn it, this reminds me of the Hell in a Cell match when Shawn Michaels hit Daniel Bryan with the super kick, and it wasn't exactly a picture-perfect Sweet Chin Music. And then Randy climbs up the ladder and takes his time, looks around, kind of like when he was in the Money in the Bank ladder match and he was the only one left. And then he grabs the championships. He actually doesn't grab the championships, he grabs the entire thing, the entire like hook that has both championships. And Randy wins. Randy is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So, I really enjoyed the matchup. After the match, you hear Vince McMahon's music, so I'm like, oh, what's going to happen next? Are they going to restart the matchup because John Cena got handcuffed, or what's going to happen there? And you get Vince McMahon coming out also along with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, but they just get in the ring to congratulate Randy, and that ends the show. So, what did I think about the show? Highlights, lots of highlights in that last match, the main event matchup, from John Cena putting Randy through the table with the attitude adjustment, the freaking John Cena getting handcuffed and actually dragging the ropes all the way up the ladder and hitting Randy with the turnbuckle a couple times. And also, the tag team match. See, the two matches I enjoyed the most, actually my three favorite matches of TLC were the TLC main event, of course, and the tag team match, the Fatal 4-Way tag team match for the tag titles, and also the handicap match involving Daniel Bryan and the Wyatt family. If I'd have to rank those, damn, that'd be hard, because you know what, I'm not going to rank those, they're all good, but if I have to pick one, though, I picked the TLC match, simply because, it is a TLC match. It was a fun match. It was a nice match to watch. And also, just because it was an epic matchup, and of course, it's going to go down in history as a big match, combining both the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship. But also, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team matchup towards the end, when it was down to Cody and Goldust and Big Show and Rey Mysterio, was full of highlights. When Cody would reverse Rey Mysterio's move, Rey Mysterio would reverse Cody's finisher, and it was just unpredictable towards the end. You didn't know who was going to win. And that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, as always, you can click that like button down below. I'd really appreciate it. And hey, in the comments section, tell me what you thought about TLC and what was your match of the night. What was the match you liked the most? With that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.